What is up, guys? Tony here, Positive Tech Reviews. I try to do a live stream of the Android versus iOS. What do I think about both platforms and which one do I prefer as far as my everyday device, or which one I would use like on a daily basis. I use the iPhone. I use the iPhone, and I also use Android. I actually use both platforms at the same time. I kind of lean more towards the iPhone or iOS simply because I have a MacBook, and I have a MacBook, and I actually do a lot of editing on my video, so it's easier, in my opinion, or just in my usage, to use the iPhone to record my videos and then just connect it to my MacBook, and everything syncs across really fast. So that's one reason why I use the iPhone. I also like one of the main things that I really like is going to be iMessage. I think iMessage is the best messaging platform that's out there, and this is just my opinion. You may disagree, and that's fine. But I think the simple fact that iOS iMessage is just a unique messaging. It's secure. It's very fast. In some instances, if you don't have any data network, when you're on Android, you cannot use your stock messaging app. Like it won't send the messages. But with iOS, if you're connected to data or if you're connected to Wi-Fi, it will send your messages. You can send videos, long videos. Like I've actually sent out 2-minute videos from iPhone, to another iPhone user using iMessage. So iMessage definitely is my number one choice when it comes to messaging on any platform, whether it be Windows, mobile, Android, or iOS. I just like messaging app. That's one thing that I do like about it. And the next thing about why I like the iPhone or iOS is going to be updates. I can have this iPhone maybe for about 4 years, I don't know, maybe longer than that, and I'll still be receiving updates. The iPhone 5S, I believe, is going to receive iOS 11. So how old is that phone? So that pretty much determines how long you'll be getting your updates on my current phone, which is the iPhone 7 Plus. Another thing is video chat with the iPhone. I know we have all kinds of video chat apps on for Android, but they don't work like FaceTime. So FaceTime is another reason why I still hang on to my iPhone 7 Plus when I do video chat with actually a lot of my family members have the iPhone, my wife, kids, all of them. So FaceTime messages works really well with the iPhone. From iPhone to iPhone, it works real good. I'm saying you won't get any. I haven't had any lag if you're on Wi-Fi or if you're on data. I don't know what they're doing, but FaceTime works flawlessly. Now on Android side of things, I've tried so many applications to get video chat to work real good, without lag, and there's a lot of factors involved when it comes to video chatting on Android, and I'll get to that in a minute. So another thing that I like about the iOS or the iPhone is going to be that if you have a MacBook or iPad, you can set it up so that you receive your iMessages, SMS, what's the other one? FaceTime videos. FaceTime chat. You get SMS. So if you send me a message and I don't have my phone, I'm on my Mac, I'll receive my messages on my Mac. I know you could do that on Android. Everybody's going to say, hey, Hangouts this, Hangout that. But the difference is I get iMessages, and I'll get SMS messages, and I'll get MMS messages all on all the devices. So I'll get them on my iPad, I'll get them on my MacBook, I'll get them on my iPhone. So if I start a message on my iPhone, and you respond to me. When you respond to me, I'm on my MacBook. I can respond from my MacBook, and it'll just seem like the conversation was started on the MacBook when I actually started on my iPhone. You got to have to try it out. It's not the same as Hangouts. I know you can get Hangouts on your MacBook and all that. I have Hangouts on here. I use Hangouts, so I use them all. So I'm telling you that in my experience, iMessage dominates, FaceTime dominates. Um, it's a better overall experience in my experience. I've tried a whole bunch of messaging apps on Android, man, tons of them, and I cannot get the same quality that I get from the iPhone. When it comes to video chat, there's no lag, there's no choppiness, and when it comes to iMessage, it's instant. As soon as I press send, you can see it's automatic. It's delivered real quick. Android is close. It's real close to seeming seamlessly like the iPhone, but it's not. It's not. I'm telling you, I've used it. There's a lot of hate on the iPhone. A lot of people hate on it just because I don't know why, but they do. They just hate on the iPhone. It's boring. You can't customize it. But when it comes to everyday usage, what I use it for, like messaging, checking email, staying in touch with my family members via iMessage, video chatting with my family members via FaceTime. FaceTime, they work flawlessly. So when it comes to messaging, video chat, checking emails, and having everything sync across all my devices, photos, music, um, it just works. It just works great. So, and another thing is the updates. I'm guaranteed to get updates for at least 4 years, maybe longer. Like I said, they're updating the iPhone 5S to iOS 11. So, I also got the iWatch, not the iWatch, the Apple Watch. I also got the Apple Watch. I picked this up recently, and I've been using it. And the reason why, because I've been doing a lot of cycling lately, and I've tried a whole bunch of fitness trackers. I got a drawer full of them. If you watch my YouTube channel, you will see that I've done reviews on them, unboxing, and they work fine. But I just wanted to try the Apple Watch, and I love the Apple Watch simply because it has a whole bunch of extra features, and it just motivates me. I looked at the watch, and I see the circles. Let me see, you guys can see this. You guys probably can't see it, but I see the circles, and I want to complete the circles. I want to get out there. I don't know what it is, but I just want to get out there and get the activity that I need, and I've done that. I'll show you guys. Let me see if I could show you guys. I've done a lot of it late. You can see all my circles are complete. So if the Apple Watch is not as useful as you think it is, it's useful to me because it motivates me, and you can see just by the graph on the top. You can see I have all these circles. I try to complete these. I just get with it. It just motivates me. It gives me that motivation that I need to complete these circles, rather it being cycling, walking, standing up. It'll just vibrate and tell me to stand up if I'm sitting down for too long, and that is not a bad thing. I think that's just a little bit of motivation, and it helps me out. It helps me get out there and do exercise and ride my bike. So I like that. I like the Apple Watch for that, and it also syncs across to my iPhone. Great. I can unlock my iPad just by having my watch on my wrist and just opening it up. It automatically detects and unlocks my MacBook. There's just a whole lot more. I like it. I've had whole tons of Androids, and I still love Android. I'm not knocking Android, but I'm just saying why I still have the iPhone and why I still use iOS and the MacBook and the iPad and the Apple Watch. I think I'm just a little bit too deep into the iOS ecosystem, but I still have Android. I still love Android. I'll show you. I still love Android. I got Android phones. Every phone that comes out, I pick it up. I review it. I love Android, and the reason why I love Android is because I also have the Google Home which I have right here in the kitchen. Okay, Google, what's the weather like today?
In Cleveland today, there will be scattered showers with a forecasted high of 78 and a low of 63. Right now, it's 71 and cloudy.
So I have Google Home. I have Android devices all across my house. I have two Google Homes, and I have Chromecast upstairs. Have an Android TV. I have Android phones. I love both of them. I love three. Let me see. I'm gonna tell you what I love: iMessage, FaceTime, fast updates from Apple, plus how it syncs across all the devices. I just love that. iOS, I mean on Android, I love the. This is easy. Um, Google Assistant is, I'm gonna say, at least way better than Siri. I'm not gonna deny that. Siri is okay. Google Assistant is the best one out there, and I love the Google Assistant. I love Google Maps. The maps, let me see. Google Maps, I'll show you. I love the Fit. Google Fit is something that we'll get into right here. When I go for my bike rides, I take this with me. I take two phones with me because I like to compare what's going on, and I take the Moto E4 with me. This is the one I have right now currently, and it doesn't, for some reason, it doesn't detect when I'm on my bike and I'm driving my bike. So I don't know what's the deal with that. I have two of them, both of them same thing. They don't detect when I'm riding my bicycle, so that's a bummer. You can see right on the screen there that I took it with me yesterday. I have location services enabled to the highest setting, high accuracy mode, and it doesn't detect that I'm out there. It doesn't detect my location. It doesn't detect um, that I'm riding my bike, and that's a bummer. I don't know what the deal is. Now, when I put the watch on, I also have Android Wear Watch. When I put the watch on, it will detect, but the phone by itself, I take it with me. I take two phones with me everywhere I go. One iOS and one Android. I got duplicate SIM on this one here. So that's the issue that I'm having with the Google Fit app. But I like Android because I like a lot of applications on Android more than I do on iOS. The ability to get paid apps free on Google Play Store, there's a lot of benefits there. So you have that aspect of buying, having to pay for apps on iOS side of things, and then getting them free on the Google Play Store or on Android is a benefit. It is a thumbs up for me. Now the apps on Android, you do have the Photos app, which I use all the time. You take photos, and when you get home and it connects to Wi-Fi, automatically uploads them uh, to the cloud. You can back up all your stuff. You can switch from device to device. I switch a whole lot on the Android side of things. Been through so many phones, and I just restore them, and all my information goes over. So um, I like the Play Music from the Google Play Store. Calendars I love. The Maps, top dog. Google Home right here, and I have everything set up here. Here's where you'll be able to see my devices. So tap, you can see I have a Google Home in the living room, Google Home in the kitchen. I have my MacBook right now where I'm connected. I have all these devices. I also have the Chromecast upstairs, but it's not. TV has to be turned on, and then it'll pick it up. But I do love the Android side of things. I love the ability to customize. I used to root a lot and flash custom ROMs. I'm not really into that anymore. The cool thing about Android is the apps work really well. The Google apps work really well. You can customize the crap out of your phone, and you can also get a lot of free apps from the App Store that you have to pay on iOS side of things. So now video chat on Android, I've had not real good experiences with it. I think the Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, I used to video chat with that using WhatsApp. And WhatsApp seems to be the best one that I've encountered so far. With a has a little bit of lag in the very beginning, and then it'll kind of fix itself. And then so I've been using that. I use that, and it works pretty good. Haven't had any issues. Like I said, now when I'm out on mobile data, the connection status, which doesn't have to do with the phone, I would say it has to do with the network. Choppy, and then it'll clear up. But that's like from like number 2 on my list. So number 1 would be FaceTime. Number 2 would be WhatsApp Messenger. Number 3 would be the Facebook Messenger. You can now video chat with that. That does pretty good too. There's a whole bunch out there. They all work hit and miss. Some will work better than the others. But like I said, for me, in my experience, FaceTime is number 1. And then messaging, not much I can say about that on the Android side of things. You have Hangouts, which they removed the SMS feature now. I don't think you can do the SMS feature anymore. But yeah, and then there's just a whole bunch of selection. Really, iOS, it's in a category by itself because it really has no competition. There's no other iOS device, other phones that run iOS that could compete with it. So it's a whole different platform. So it's kind of difficult to compare it to Android. Now on Android side of things, you got huge selection of phones, huge selection of options for phones. You got phones with big screens, little screens, big batteries, small batteries, big chipsets, small chipsets. You have 1080p screens, 720p screens, 2K screens. It's just all over the place, and that's a good thing. And then there's fragmentation, which means everybody is all over the place when it comes to updates. You got devices that are still on 5.0. You got devices that are still on 4.0. You got devices on 6.0, 7.0. You got devices that never got an update. I think what they got released, and then they got released with 5.0, and they've been at 5.0 ever since you bought them. I had a device like that. It was Polaroid, some kind of Polaroid phone. It released. I picked it up. Never got an update. Never got a security patch. So there's a whole bunch of things going on with Android. Like I said, I love Android. I love the customization. The flagships are very expensive. The S8 is up there, same price as the iPhone. Will you get future updates? They may give you one major update, and I wouldn't expect any more after that. On iOS, you're gonna get at least 4 major updates, or it'll get updated for a while on iOS. With Android, it's a hit and miss. I think the only one that really gets stable updates right now, and will continue to get stable updates for a little while, it's going to be the Pixel phones. Nexus phones are done. I think this October, if I'm not mistaken, they won't be receiving any more updates. I may be wrong. Comment down below if I am, but yeah. As far as the Android side of things, they're all over the place. So if you really pay attention to the YouTube content creators, a lot of them make videos on Android phones, and they all, if you pay attention, use iOS. The reason for that is because iOS releases maybe one phone. There's not a lot of whole competition with iOS. You don't have other phones that run iOS. So it's like on its own little platform, and there's really no competition there. But on the Android side of things, there's a whole bunch of competition. So people tend to make videos about Android, comparing Androids to Androids, and then they once in a while throw in iOS, compare it to iOS. But like I said, in my opinion, iOS is like a league of its own. There's really no other manufacturers that run iOS, and that's a benefit. I think that's a benefit because when it comes to updates, the carrier doesn't control your updates. Apple does. So on the Android side of things, you have to wait for the carrier. You have to wait for Google to release it to the carrier. It's just that's why I tend to get unlocked phones, and even the unlocked phones don't get updates faster than iOS. So there's a lot to think about. iOS very easy. I mean, you can probably pick up any iPhone and navigate through any other iPhone without the issue. Now Android is just, I'm not gonna say it's confusing, but my daughter, she's been on the iPhone for a little while, and then she's decided to try out Android because I kind of pushed her to it. I said, well, if you try out Android for a little while, just give me your experience on it or your feedback, and then I'll buy you the phone that you want. I was hoping that she would consider an Android phone, like maybe the S8, after she used the Android phone for a little while, which was the ZTE Blade V8, and she was coming from the iPhone C. She actually loved it. She loved the ZTE. Every time I looked, she was on it. She loved the battery life. She loved everything about it. And she used it for about, I'm going to say about, ever since it came out. So I don't know what the date is, but at least she used it for at least 90 days. And in the end, when it was time for her to decide what phone she wanted, she ended up going to an iPhone. So she went to the iPhone 7. I got the ZTE Blade V8 in a box somewhere. Her choice. I don't know if it has to do with branding. Maybe branding. She's in high school now, so maybe the kids in high school, they probably all have iPhones or Samsungs. I don't know what it is, but she decided to go with the iPhone 7, so that's what she got. And I tried. Other than that, no one here uses the iPhone. I'm the only one that actually messes with iOS and Android. But yeah, back to Android and what I like about Android. I like the fact, like I mentioned, have an option, huge selection of different phones you can pick up. You can, different manufacturers, different colors, different sizes, different skins, different batteries, displays. It's just all over the place. Like I mentioned before, fragmentation all over the place also. So you have devices that are running on different operating systems. They're not all up to date. So something to think about it. But I do love the fact that a lot of things work real good on Google, and Maps has is Maps is actually, in my opinion, better than the Maps from iOS. The music player, what is it, Apple Music versus Google Play Music. They're both, it's a hit and miss. I don't have a subscription for Apple Music. I have a subscription for Google Play Music simply because I got my Google Homes and I can just pick a song and it'll play. So that's why I have a subscription to Google Play Music. iOS is just, Apple Music is just crazy. And for some reason it won't connect to my Google Home. There's no way to play music that I've found out, that I've seen so far. I haven't seen any option to add Apple Music to my Google Home. But if that does arrive, it may change. And I may get Apple Music, but who knows. But so far, I do like both of these platforms. I might have went on a little bit too long, but iOS versus Android, why I like the iPhone over Android device. I pretty much just explained it to you guys. Comment down below. Let me know what you guys think about iOS versus Android. I've had all the big dogs. I've had Samsung Galaxy S8 Plus, the S8s. I had the HTC U11. I've had them all. And I tend to move these devices around because I'm self-funded. So I'll keep them for a little while. Then I'll get them when they first come out. Then I'll sell them. And then maybe I'll pick them up later and do a revisit. That's how I keep my channel going. I can't just dump a whole bunch of money on one device and just let it sit around collecting dust, because I think it's dumb. If I'm not using it, I'll rotate it. I'll move it. You could always pick it back up. You got swapper. So yeah, that's what I do. I just rotate my devices. I keep what I actually like and what I enjoy. make videos on that, and I keep it moving. But yeah, so far I've tried to sell the iPhone twice, and I couldn't do it. So that says a lot right there. Anyways, I'm rambling. iOS versus Android. This phone right here, the Moto E4, it's a beast phone right here. So I like it because this is the one I'm using right now, but I like it because the screen's a little bit smaller. It's a whole lot lighter than the iPhone. It's more pocketable, and it's pretty like stock Android. So I don't know how good it'll be with the updates. I'll check right now as far as the update status goes, but you know how that goes. Like I mentioned, different manufacturers controlled by different. This is a Verizon phone, so this probably won't ever get an update. It's a $39 phone I picked up from Walmart. But right now, out of the box, it's on Android version 7.1.1. And let me see, it has May security patch, and that one is from Verizon. And then I have another one here that's from Metro PCS. This one is actually on 7.1.1 also. Who knows when this one will get an update. That's what I mean when it comes to carriers controlling your phone. So this one's actually on, they're both on May 1st. As long as I continue getting at least a security patch, I'll be happy with both of these. So I have a Metro PCS, Verizon. These are controlled. The updates are controlled by the carriers, I think, on these phones. I may be wrong, but I believe that on some phones, it may not be these, just these, but on some phones you buy from the carrier, they come with the carrier bloat. The carrier is pretty much controlling your update. So that being said, I'm gonna go ahead and end this video. Let me see, there you can see Motorola, Metro PCS, and this one right here doesn't say Verizon anywhere. It is unlocked, so who knows. But I was able to disable all the bloat on this phone, all the carrier bloat, and on this one I wasn't. So I was able to delete everything but, let me see what I forgot here, my Metro, everything but my Metro app. I couldn't delete it. No way of deleting it. So that's a bummer for the Metro one, and also no fingerprint reader. The one on Verizon, I was able to delete everything. All the Verizon bloat was gone. So it actually seems like the original unlocked version that you buy from Motorola. No bloat. All the bloat is gone. I mean, it's still there. It's just been disabled. What's another thing about the iPhone and Android? The iPhone doesn't come with any bloat. You don't have any. I don't care who sells the iPhone. Verizon, AT&T. You're not going to have any bloat. So I'll show you all the disabled ones. You can see I disabled all this on the one I got from Verizon. So you're able to disable it all. It's still there. It doesn't remove anything. You aren't able to uninstall anything, but you're able to disable, which is pretty good enough, I guess. I don't have to look at it. So yeah, this is my little video. Android versus iOS. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If I missed anything, I just turned it around. If I missed anything that you guys actually want to talk about, maybe I can catch up in another video. Let me know. That's my dog in the background. But yeah, that's it for this video. I'll catch you guys on the next one. Peace.